Hey, what's up guys? Sean here. This is going to be a little bit different video. A friend of mine the other day, Kevin, posted the lyrics to an old REM song. And it said, "It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine." Now, I'm not making light of this whole situation, the whole, with the virus and everything. I'm not, don't take it that way. I'm not making light of the situation. This virus is going to affect all of us in one way or another. Today, I lost work because customers didn't want me to come to the barn and work. So I lost, a whole day of work. There are people out there, the bars, restaurants, that are being far more affected than I am. As of yesterday in our area, they closed all the bars for the next 30 days. That's going to be a huge hit for a lot of people. The theaters, they closed the theaters down. My sister-in-law, she manages a theater. That's going to be a huge hit for her and her employees that work for her. So this is a big deal. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to give you any medical advice. I won't make all these claims that, oh, this is, fake, or this is, I'm a conspiracy theorist. If you want some conspiracies, I'm your guy. But I don't think it's going to be the end of the world for us. I think the majority of us are going to make it through this. We're going to rebound. It's like anything else. We are going to lose some people. And I hate to say it like that. I don't mean it to come across like that. But with any pandemic, there's going to be loss of life. And, it's going to be the people that are already, or majority of it will be people that are already, immune system compromised, elderly people, things like that. And that's, it's absolutely gonna happen. It's happening. We've seen it all over the world now, with China, Italy, the effects that we're having over here. But like I said, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. And from my point of view, it's going to be eye-opening, I think, for us as a society, for our country. I believe we're going to learn where our shortfalls are, where our shortcomings are, and the things that we're going to need to change in the future to be more prepared for a situation like this. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Okay, so let's go over a few of my personal experiences that I've gone through so far with this whole pandemic. So the other day, went to pick up a few things at the store. And, we stay pretty well prepared. This is Florida. We're bound to have a hurricane anytime, so we stay pretty well prepared. But, that being said, this is a little bit different. So we needed, some extra supplies. So went by our local grocery store. There's a Publix. And was grabbing some supplies. Well, I seen a lady literally grabbing up all the lunch meat off the shelf. I mean, literally just two-handing, grabbing it all, throwing it in the shelf. Complete panic mode. I actually already told this story on my Facebook page, and if you haven't checked out our Facebook page, I'll put a link in the description. Go over there, like our page, follow it. You know, I post some things on there that, you know, don't get put in the videos and stuff like that. So after this video, jump over to Facebook and check out our Facebook page. We also have Instagram, and I've got a Twitter that I've started that's not doing too good. It's taking off slow. So, but anyway, back to the story. This lady was literally loading up her cart with all the lunch meat and stuff. And there was a crowd of people just crowded around this lady, watching her just go mad loading up this cart. All I wanted was a pack of bologna and a pack of turkey for my wife. For whatever reason, now I know everybody's going to give me the oohs and the grosses and all that stuff. But all I wanted was a bologna sandwich. For whatever reason, the last, I don't know, couple months, I have been craving some bologna. It's kind of nuts, because I typically don't really like bologna unless it's, you know, going fishing. I love to have a bologna sandwich when I go fishing. Or camping sometimes, I like to make a bologna sandwich. But anyway, I've been craving this bologna. And so she's loading everything up. I mean, literally just loading everything up. I decided that, you know, she doesn't have dibs on everything. Now, I wouldn't really want to wrestle this lady for some bologna, but, and I'm not saying that I, you know, did wrestle this lady for some bologna. Sometimes you just want some bologna. So now what, if anything, do we change or add to be more prepared? Well, we typically always have a garden. My dad, he planted a garden like he was trying to feed the whole neighborhood every year. But we are trying to be more prepared in other ways also. Something that you have to be mindful of is, like they're saying, you have to do the social distancing, limit yourself, contact with other people. So we've been doing the Walmart pickup for a good little while now. Actually, even before this happened, we were doing the Walmart pickup. I like the thing I see people post on Facebook all the time that, I don't want to brag, but I've been social distancing long before this virus. And that's kind of our mentality too. Just not big on being around huge crowds of people. That's why I like to go camping. But, you know, there's a lot of things that you can do besides just buying up all the toilet paper. I mean, I understand that people want to be prepared and they're afraid that, you know, the trucks are not going to get there and they're going to run out of stock of things. And it's happened. But more than the virus, the problem is the people. the panic, the fear. That's the biggest problem. So apparently I've got some issues with my sprinkler I got to work out. Well, that's a little better, though some may say that the sprinkler and I are having a bit of a difference in opinion. Still, okay. I had to move the camera back a little bit. It's getting a little more reach than I would like for such a small area. But I'm fixing to cut this other area up and plant some peas and some, or actually some acre peas and some black-eyed peas. But I think we need to get into some things that we need to be changing, each of us, during this whole pandemic thing. And let's go sit down and talk about that, because this black shirt, black hat, Florida heat, I'm going to let this sprinkler work for a few minutes before I get started cutting this stuff up. And so let's go sit down in the shade for a minute and talk about that. Something that I want to talk with you about is your own personal safety during this whole pandemic. Now, I'm sure Gibby's probably a little worried about his personal safety during this pandemic also, but you stop that. Guys, you need to be discussing with your family about your personal safety. Now, I'm not going to tell you what you should be carrying. That's everybody's preference. But what I'm going to say is, just like in a hurricane situation, just like after a national emergency, 9/11, just like after Christmas time or during Christmas time, man, people that are in need and don't have the means to take care of those needs can be very dangerous. I know this is going to sound cold-hearted, but what good is it for you to buy all those supplies only to get robbed in the parking lot and either just robbed or even hurt to get those, so people could get those supplies from you? What I would suggest is at this time that you try to go get your supplies when you have to, at least in a pair. Now, you don't want to go out and have a whole bunch of people running around, a whole bunch of extra people running around, because that's going to increase the amount of people that are out and the possibility of spreading this. But I suggest that you at least have one person with you to be able to back you up if somebody comes to try to take your supplies. And people aren't going to want to hear this, but your safety is paramount. I'm not going to sit here and tell you how to prepare yourself. That's going to be up to everybody's personal preference. Now, if you want to stock rice and beans, that's great. Not everybody likes rice and beans. Stock the things that you want to eat. Stock the things that your family eats. Canned goods are great. You need to keep them in rotation. And what I mean by that is, don't buy, a ton of canned goods and plan on keeping those canned goods for 10 years, for 20 years. They're going to go bad eventually. They're not going to be something you're going to want to eat. So keep those canned goods in rotation. When you go buy cans of green beans, put those at the back of the line. Use the green beans you already have. If you get what I'm saying. Let that rotation continue. That way you don't end up with 10-year-old green beans. So being prepared doesn't mean necessarily just being prepared for a pandemic like this, this should open your eyes to all other types of natural disasters, all the stock that you buy. What good is it if you can't cook it, if you can't boil water? You know, if the grid goes down and you don't have clean drinking water, how are you going to get clean drinking water? If the grid goes down and you can't fire up your electric stove, how are you going to cook? These are all things that you need to be contemplating when you're thinking about being prepared. Not necessarily just prepared for this pandemic, but being prepared in general. So right now, you should be contemplating a few other things too. What skills do you have? What are the things that you need to brush up on and learn? If for some reason this pandemic turned into a situation where you needed to get the hell out of Dodge, do you have the skills? Do you have the ability to do that? Now, I understand that these are all uncomfortable topics. We don't really like talking about this stuff. But is it better to think about it now, assess your situation, and make a list of things that you need to learn, than to find out on the fly that you don't have the skills needed to do the things you need to do? Diet Dr. Pepper. Not a sponsor. You ever stick your finger in there to make the suds go down? Don't do it to other people's drinks. Could spread the virus. It's hot out here. So this thing is still set up from last year for cutting in between the rows. So I've got to add these outer tines back on it to be able to cut my rows as wide as I want them. It's fairly simple. Just get it where you want it. Put your bolt through it. You put your hand in the way of the camera. Get her tightened down good. Move to the other side. Got 2 small plots cut up, not too shabby. So guys, I'm not ever gonna tell you how to think, how to feel, or what you should do. All I'll ever do is give you my opinions on what's going on, and you take it for what it's worth. There's a lot of craziness going on right now, and if there was one thing that I could pass along out of my head to you, it's kind of take it easy a little bit. Don't panic so much. Eventually this thing is going to blow over, and hopefully things will start getting back to normal. You'll see the shelves start filling back up in the grocery stores and stuff. So just kind of take it a little easy. I know we're all going to be affected by this, and it's not going to be fun for anybody, and it's going to be tough for a little while. But we're all tough. We can make it. We can stick it out. I appreciate you watching this video. I know it's not a normal video for me. It's a little bit definitely off topic for a lot of the things that I do. But hopefully you got something out of it. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, like it. Share it with your friends. Maybe they'll get something out of it too. Here's a challenge. Tell me in the comments one thing that you are going to do to change, to help, to prepare yourself for the next, whether it be a hurricane, natural disaster, pandemic, whatever. In the comments below, tell me one thing that you're going to change, and then one thing that you are proud of yourself for already being prepared with. Now, I know some of you guys are going to tell me that the social distancing thing already, you've already been doing that. I think a lot of us have. So don't give me that. Give me something else. But again, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like this video, share it with your friends, leave me one of those comments below, and hopefully next time I see you, it'll be on a brighter note. But one way or the other, I'll see you next time.